Arielle Moore realized she made a catastrophic mistake the moment she knocked on the window of the sleek black car. But by then, the man inside was already looking at her, and there was no taking it back. It was 1:47 a.m. The bar had closed an hour ago, but cleaning and inventory always took longer than management acknowledged. Her phone was at 3%, her feet were screaming from 6 hours in heels on concrete floors, and the last bus had left at 1:15. She missed it by 3 minutes. 3 minutes that left her stranded on a street that felt emptier and more dangerous with every passing second. When the black car appeared, expensive, tinted windows, the kind that screamed, "Don't approach me," every survival instinct told her to keep walking. But desperation makes you brave in stupid ways. Arielle stepped into the street and knocked on the passenger window. The car stopped. The window rolled down, and the man inside looked at her with eyes so intensely gray they seemed to cut through the darkness. "I'm sorry," Arielle said quickly, adding how her voice shook. "I know this is insane, but I missed my bus and my phone's dying and I'm trying to get to Riverside. I can pay you $20. It's all I have in cash, but—" "Get in," the man said. His voice was deep, controlled, the kind of voice used to being obeyed. Arielle hesitated, because this was how horror stories started: strange man, empty street, desperation. But something in his expression wasn't predatory, just tired, like he understood exhaustion in a way most people didn't. She got in. The car was immaculate, leather seats. That new car smell mixed with something expensive, cologne maybe, or just the scent of wealth. The man beside her wore a suit that probably cost more than her monthly rent. "Seat belt," he said, already driving. Arielle buckled up. "Thank you, really. I know stopping for strangers at 2 a.m. isn't—" "It's fine." He kept his eyes on the road. "We're in Riverside." She gave him the address. They drove in silence for 30 seconds that felt like 30 minutes. Then he asked, "You work at the bar?" "Yeah, night shift, tips are better." She paused. "You?" "I work late too." "Doing what?" For the first time his mouth curved slightly, not quite a smile. "Making decisions that keep me up at night." "That sounds ominous." "It is." He glanced at her. "You make a habit of flagging down strangers. You make a habit of picking them up." "Never." "Then why tonight?" He was quiet for a long moment. Then, "Because you looked like I felt, and I thought maybe helping you would make me feel less empty." The honesty hit her like a fist to the chest. "Did it work?" Arielle asked softly. "Ask me when I drop you off." They talked the rest of the way, not about big things, just small truths. She told him about working doubles to stay independent after cutting off her family. He told him about boardrooms that felt like cages. She asked about the last time he'd laughed, really laughed. He couldn't remember. When they reached her building, Arielle pulled out a crumpled 20. "Keep it," he said. "No, a deal's a deal." "Then consider it already spent on the best conversation I've had in years." Arielle looked at him, really looked, saw the loneliness carved into the sharp lines of his face, the exhaustion he wore like armor. "Thank you," she said, "for stopping, for listening, for making tonight less terrifying. Thank you for flagging me down." She got out, walked to her building, and when she turned back, the car was already gone. She didn't even know his name. For 3 days, Arielle couldn't stop thinking about him. The stranger with gray eyes and a voice like gravel, who driven her home without asking for anything, who talked about emptiness like he was fluent in it. She told herself to forget him, that it was just a weird, random moment, that she'd never see him again. Then Friday came. The bar was hosting a private event, some corporate thing. Management had been stressed all week, deep cleaning everything, bringing in extra security. "Whoever this client is, they're paying enough to cover our rent for 6 months," her coworker Danny said. So smile pretty and don't screw this up. The guests started arriving at 8 p.m., wealthy, polished, the kind of people who treated service workers like furniture. Arielle worked the bar, mixing drinks, forcing smiles, trying not to think about the stranger who'd. He walked in. Same suit, same presence, same gray eyes that stopped her heart. But this time he wasn't alone. He was surrounded by executives. People orbited him like he was the sun. Someone called him Mr. Cole, and he nodded, distracted, scanning the room. His gaze landed on Arielle. And for one terrible, electric moment, they just stared at each other. Then someone pulled him away. More people, more conversations, the machinery of wealth and power swallowing him whole. Arielle's hands shook as she poured drinks. Mr. Cole. She pulled out her phone, Googled with trembling fingers. Sebastian Cole, CEO of Cole Enterprises, net worth $4.7 billion, youngest person to ever asterisk. She stopped reading. Because suddenly everything made sense. The car, the suit, the way he'd talked about decisions that kept him awake. He wasn't just some guy working late. He was a billionaire. And she'd made him drive her home like a taxi service. Arielle wanted to disappear. The event lasted 4 hours. Arielle avoided eye contact, focused on drinks, tried to pretend her world hadn't just tilted sideways. But at 11:30, Sebastian appeared at the bar. Gin and tonic, he said, and a moment of your time. She mixed the drink with shaking hands, slid it across. That'll be $15. Arielle. I didn't know who you were. The words came out defensive, sharp. When I stopped your car, I just needed a ride. I know. And now I feel like an idiot because I made a billionaire drive me home and offered him $20. I didn't care about the money. Of course you didn't, you have billions. She crossed her arms. Why didn't you tell me? Because for 20 minutes I wasn't Sebastian Cole. I was just someone driving someone home, and it was the most real conversation I'd had in years. His voice dropped. I didn't want to ruin it. Well, congratulations. Knowing who you are ruined it anyway. Did it? He leaned closer. Or are you just scared? Of what? That what happened between us was real, that it mattered. His eyes held hers. Because it mattered to me, Arielle, more than you know. Before we continue, can I ask you a question? Where in the world are you watching from? Comment below because we'd love to know how far these stories travel, and hit that subscribe button. Before she could respond, someone called his name. Sebastian glanced back, jaw tight, then looked at her. I have to go, but I'm coming back tomorrow. After closing, we need to talk. Mr. Cole. Sebastian, my name is Sebastian. Then he was gone again, swallowed by the crowd, by his world. And her Paul stood there, heart hammering, wondering what the hell she was supposed to do now. Sebastian didn't come back the next night. Or the night after. For 2 weeks, our Paul worked her shifts in a strange limbo. Part of her was relieved. Part of her felt abandoned. All of her was angry at herself for caring. You're being weird, Danny said one night. What happened? Nothing. That's the worst lie you've ever told. And you once told a customer we had a bathroom when we definitely don't. Paul almost smiled. Remember that private event 2 weeks ago? The one that paid our rent, yeah. I met someone, kind of, before the event, and then he showed up and I found out she trailed off. It doesn't matter, he's gone. Did you want him to stay? That was the question, wasn't it? I don't know, Paul admitted. He's so far outside my world, and getting involved with someone like that, it feels like asking to get hurt. Or it feels like taking a risk on something real. Danny squeezed her shoulder. Not everything has to end badly, Ari. But 3 days later, Paul learned that sometimes things ended worse than badly. The tabloid appeared on her break. Someone had taken a photo, her and Sebastian at the bar, him leaning close, her looking flustered. The headline, Billionaire Sebastian Cole's Secret Bartender Romance. The article was vicious, implied she was a gold digger, questioned her motives, dug up her past, the estranged family, the financial struggles. Made her sound desperate, calculating, cheap. By the time her shift ended, her phone was flooded. Unknown numbers, messages from old friends, reporters asking for comment. And one text from Sebastian, "I'm handling this. I'm so sorry." Paul stared at the text, then blocked the number. Because handling this meant damage control, PR, making her disappear from his narrative. She'd been a headline for 24 hours and already learned the most important lesson about his world. People like her didn't belong in it. She quit the bar the next day. Not because of the attention, but because she couldn't walk in without remembering the night he'd shown up, the way he'd looked at her, the way she'd started to hope. Paul found a new job across town, diner, day shift, less money but fewer memories. She told herself she was moving on. Told herself every day for 3 weeks. But she couldn't stop checking the news, watching for updates on Sebastian Cole, wondering if he'd actually cared or if she'd just been a curiosity. The answer came on a Tuesday. She was closing the diner, habit, even though it closed at 8 p.m. now, when she saw the headline on her phone. Sebastian Cole walks away from $2 billion deal, cites personal ethics. Paul read the article with shaking hands. Sebastian had shut down a deal with a media conglomerate, the same media conglomerate that owned the tabloid that had destroyed her. He'd walked away from Billions because they'd refused to retract the story, refused to apologize. The quote that broke her: "Some things matter more than money, and some people matter more than any deal I could make. I won't do business with anyone who trades in cruelty." Paul's vision blurred. He'd sacrificed Billions for her. She was still staring at her phone when she heard the knock on the diner's glass door. Sebastian stood outside. Same suit, same eyes, but different somehow, more human, more raw. Paul opened the door. "Hi," he said. "Hi. Can I come in?" She stepped aside. They stood in the empty diner, surrounded by the smell of coffee and old grease, and Sebastian said, "I'm sorry for everything, the tabloids, the attention, dragging you into my world without asking. You walked away from $2 billion. I did. Why? Because they hurt you, and I couldn't let that stand." He moved closer. "That night you flagged down my car, you didn't need a ride or Paul. I needed a reason to feel human again. You gave me that. I was just a stranger who needed help. No, you were the first person in years who saw me without seeing the money first, who talked to me like I was just someone working late." His voice cracked. "And then I lost you because I didn't protect you, because I let my world destroy something real." "Sebastian, I know I don't deserve another chance. I know you walked away for good reasons, but I'm asking anyway, because I can't stop thinking about you. Can't stop wondering what we could have been if I'd been braver sooner." Paul's throat burned. "I blocked your number. I know, that's why I'm here. I quit my job because of you. I know, and I'm sorry. I don't fit in your world." "Then let's build a different one." Sebastian reached for her hand. "No tabloids, no appearances, just us, real, private, on our terms." "What if it doesn't work?" "Then at least we tried. At least we chose each other instead of letting fear decide." Paul looked at him. This man who'd stopped for her at 2 a.m., who'd talked about emptiness like he understood it, who'd walked away from Billions to protect her. "I don't want your money," she said quietly. "I don't want to give it, I want to give you me. Is that enough?" She thought about it, about the risks, the fear, the million ways this could go wrong. Then she thought about that night in his car, how real it had felt, how seen she'd been. "It's enough," she whispered. Sebastian's smile was devastating. "Can I kiss you? You walked away from $2 billion, and you're asking permission to kiss me." "Always." "Then yes." He kissed her like she was oxygen, like he'd been drowning and she was the first breath. And her Paul kissed him back, tasting hope and risk and something that felt terrifyingly like love. When they broke apart, both breathing hard, Sebastian pressed his forehead to hers. "What now?" he asked. "Now we figure it out together, one day at a time. No grand gestures. No grand gestures, just showing up, being honest, choosing each other." "I can do that." "Good, because I'm done running. From you, from this, from whatever we could be." 1 year later, Sebastian proposed in the exact spot where Paul had flagged down his car. 1:47 a.m., empty street, just them. "This is where you changed my life," he said. "Where you made me remember what it felt like to be human, to care about something other than deals and numbers and power." "This is where I took the biggest risk of my life," Paul replied, "trusting a stranger." "Was it worth it?" She looked at him, this man who'd walked away from billions, who showed up at diners after closing, who loved her without trying to fix or change or upgrade her. "Every single second." They got married 6 months later, small ceremony, no press. Just them and the people who actually mattered. And every year on their anniversary, Sebastian picked Arielle up at 1:47 a.m. Same spot, same car. But different people. Ones who'd learned that help given without expectation could become destiny. That love was purest before status entered the room. That true wealth wasn't what you owned, but who you chose when everything else fell away. And as they drove through the city, hands intertwined, Arielle thought. She flagged down his car looking for a ride home. Instead, she'd found everything. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I truly appreciate you for spending your time here. It means a lot more than you know. Let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I really want to hear from you. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment. Your support helps the channel grow and brings more stories like this your way. Thank you for being here. More amazing stories are coming, don't miss them.